mountains in the north of Pakistan, northwest of Pakistan, and west of Pakistan. Northern mountains, northwestern mountains, and the western mountains all fall in the highland climate. And what is the climate? They are having cold winters, mild summer, and rainfall is there in all the seasons. The similar happens there in the western area, cold uh, winter, mild to warm summer, and winter rainfall is there in the western region. Coming to the lowland climate, we are having the plains of Punjab and plains of Sindh are having the lowland climate. Cool winters, hot summers, and monsoon rainfall is experienced by this area. There is aridity from north to south. As we move from north to south, the aridity will increase. Aridity is dryness, shortage of water. There are 5 rivers in the north. In south, we are having only 1 river, and the amount of rainfall also decreases. These are basically the climatic regions which I am discussing. When I talk about the climate of particular area, when we talk about the climate of a particular area, we are describing basically the two things, that is temperature and rainfall. There are many things which contribute the climate, which makes up the climate of a particular area. But to know the climate of a particular area, we can just study the two factors. Those are temperature and rainfall. Examiner will be asking you about the temperature and the rainfall in general. We are discussing here the features of the climate which are there relevant related to specific areas. The third climate is the arid climate. Arid climate refers to the desert region. You all know that we are having 3 deserts in Pakistan: Tharparkar in the east, Kharan in the west, and Thal Desert is a short region that is not having the desert climate, the arid climate. So we are going to talk about the 2 arid zones, that is Tharparkar and Kharan. They are having mild winters, hot summers, and there is extreme aridity. Aridity is dryness, shortage of water, scanty rainfall. It's important that you should know the amount of rainfall which is there experienced by a particular area. We are going to talk about it. Coming to the red zone, you can see the red zone. Red zone is a coastal area. Coastal area refers to the area which is there near to the coast. Coastal area is near to the coast. We are talking about I think Zawar is unable to join. Let me send him an invitation. There, Zawar. What's the full name of Zawar? Please write in the chat box or ask him to give him. You've joined, Zawar? Wait a second. Okay. Sorry, beta, we have to just wait. Okay, so we are talking about. Okay, thank you. No issues. Okay, we are talking about the coastal climate. Coastal climate is the climate where we are having mild winters and warm summers. It is the because of the effect of the sea. It is the effect of it is also termed as maritime effect, which we have discussed, which I'll be telling you in a little detail today as well. That is maritime influence or the coastal influence, the effect of the sea. It's because of the prevailing winds or the sea breezes. It's important to know the location of the four zones, and it's important to know the climate of these four zones. Okay, we are going to move forward, and I hope that everybody is going to complete the work according to the PPTs which I have uploaded. It's very helpful. We have talked about the highland climate, lowland climate, and the uh, only thing which I would like to discuss here is the coastal effect or the maritime effect. Please listen to me very carefully. This is the maritime effect or the coastal effect. It is the effect which is experienced by the land which is near the sea. As Karachi is having a maritime effect, we are near the sea. Arabian Sea is just there, very near to us, so we can well understand the concept because we are experiencing that. What is the concept? The simple thing is that, okay, the sea and the land, when they are there side by side, the sun rays are falling over both the areas. Yes, beta, you have to copy down all the slides. Or the sun rays are falling on both the areas. In the meanwhile, land gets hotter quickly and the sea takes times to get hotter. This is the reason when the land is hot in daytime, at that time sea is not hot because of the minerals which are present there in the sea. That will take time to get it hotter. So when the prevailing winds are coming from the seaside, they are bringing the cooler impact of the water, the sea water, which still colder. Is it clear? So we are talking about the maritime influence. Maritime influence is the influence of the sea, that we have seen that it's not very hot in the coastal areas. There are mild winters. Winters are not very cold, and it's only because of the presence of the sea. Is it clear? We are going to move forward, and we are going to talk about the maritime influence in the coming topics as well. The other, where the sea is not present, the area where the sea is not influencing, there is continental climate. What is continental climate? Climate of the continent, the effect of the continent. Take example, we are talking about Lahore, Islamabad, Multan, Gujranwala, Sibbi. All these areas are not experiencing the effect of the sea. They are far away. Those are inland areas. The areas which are away from the sea are the inland areas. They are having continental effect or continental climate. They are having hot summers and cooler winters. They are having hot summers and cooler winters. These areas are there which are inland areas, which are away from the sea. They are not having the influence of the sea. Those are termed as, those are having the continental climate. It's very important to have these concepts. There are four main climatic elements. We are going to talk about them in detail: temperature, rainfall, pressure, and wind. These four we are going to talk about and how they impact the climate of a particular area. Factors affecting temperature of Pakistan, I think that we have talked about them in detail, but quickly I'm going to give a recap because I want everyone to have a very clear concept about how and why Pakistan is having different temperatures in different regions of Pakistan. These are the 5 factors due to which Pakistani land is having different temperatures in different areas of Pakistan. These 5 factors are really very important. The first factor is the latitudinal effect. We have talked about it. These are the imaginary lines which are drawn by the cartographer to determine the position of the country on the Earth's surface, to determine the temperature of the particular area. You can see equator dividing the world into 2 equal halves. The part above the equator is known as northern hemisphere, and the equator below the area below the equator is termed as southern hemisphere. These two areas, as we move away from equator, either to the north pole or to the south pole, we will be having different temperatures. Equator is the area where the sun rays are falling directly. The intensity of the sun rays is the highest there because the angle of the sun is such that it is there at the highest intensity. The area, the line which is there above the equator is Tropic of Cancer. We did that in the map activity. You know the positioning of Tropic of Cancer. It passes just below Pakistan, just beneath Pakistan, in the Arabian Sea. Then below the equator, we are having Tropic of Capricorn. The two tropics, the area between the two tropics is known as tropical area or tropics. It is the hottest part of the earth because the sun rays are directly falling over this area. We are going to talk about the different latitudes which you can see. These determine the temperature of particular area. If the country is near the equator, that country will be hotter, or if it's there away from the equator, that will be having colder temperature there. Either to the North Pole or to the South Pole, the similar effect will be there. This is the reason we are having the ice there in the two poles of the earth. Talking about the continental effect, we have just talked about it, that the areas, inland areas where there is no effect of water, the effect of sea, they are having the effect of the continent. How it is that so? The temperature is extreme. The effect of the land, the warm, large bodies of water tend to have relatively stable temperature. The body of water is having stable temperature, but while large bodies of land warm up and cools down dramatically. This is the concept which I gave you. The land heats up quickly and it gets cooler quickly. This is the reason that it's affecting the land between that area. So when the land is heated, definitely the temperature will rise, and when the land is cooling, the effect is that the temperature is going to cool down. This is only the area where there is no impact of the sea. This is the effect known as continental effect, which the whole Pakistan is experiencing. The variety of temperatures are there. Altitude and temperature is that there is a relationship between altitude and temperature. The higher the altitude, the lower the temperature. We have talked about it. The air is densest at the sea level, means at the sea level we are having dust particle, we are having water molecules, water vapors. These absorb the solar radiation. Dust particle and water vapors absorb the solar radiation. This is the reason the temperature is higher there at the sea level. As we move away up in the height, or the altitude is increasing, what happens? These water vapors and dust particles are not present, thus lowering the temperature. After every 1,000 meters, there is a decline in 6.5 degrees Celsius temperature. Cloud cover and temperature, there is an impact. We have talked about it. When in daytime there are clouds, the sun rays will be blocked and the land will not be hotter, the temperature will decrease. When in night there are clouds, what happened? The earth radiates the heat which it have absorbed in the daytime. That heat, when it's re-radiated, it wants the space to get escape in the atmosphere. When the clouds are there, the heat is not getting that space to get to go in the atmosphere, thus the temperature will increase. All these things are really very important. Latitude and the angle of the sun, we have talked about it, but a little thing which we have not discussed, that this is the reason why equator is having the highest temperature, because sunlight directly overhead and low angle of the incoming sunlight. This is the reason that the angle is such that the temperature decreases. Is that clear? It's really important that at the two poles, near the two poles, the low angle of the incoming sunlight makes the temperature lowers the temperature. These are really very important things which you should understand. We are now moving to the next part of the climate We have talked about the temperature in detail. You should know that what are the factors which affect the temperature of particular area. Now we are moving to the second most important component, that is rainfall. Rainfall is equally important. Okay, I'll try to be slower so that you can understand. Saad, my voice is clear now. Zawar, Pakistan is not near the equator. Pakistan is just above the Tropic of Cancer. You have seen the map. Over the map, above equator is Tropic of Cancer, and Pakistan is above Tropic of Cancer. So our south is near the equator, so the south experience the temperature. Okay. Answer, I'll try my level best so that I can be a little slower. Why I am a little fast? So that I want to complete many things, and I want to do practice of the past papers with you so that you can understand the technique of solving those past papers. Okay, I'll try to be a little slower now. Okay, we are now talking about rainfall. Rainfall, for rainfall, you need to know the conditions of rainfall. There are specific conditions required which result in the rainfall. Whenever the rainfall occurs, the conditions for the rainfall are always similar. Just wait a second. Okay, so whenever the rainfall, there is rainfall, the conditions for the rainfall will be similar. The first condition is hot air rises up. Due to high temperature, hot air rises up. What happens then when air rises? Because of the heat, air cools and reaches the saturation or dew point. When the air, the hot air, when it reaches up in the sky, there is a point where it cools. Because it is colder there in the atmosphere, it cools and reaches saturation or dew point. What happens? Water vapor will condense to liquid. Those water vapor which have reached up in the atmosphere, they will condense and they will turn into liquid. Is it clear? Then visible water droplets are formed. With the temperature, with the passage of time, with the passing time, that those visible water droplets are formed, and then the rainfall will occur. This is not the case only. There are two other factors which are involved. The factors are air pressure varies with temperature. We are going to talk about the air pressure. Warmer, lighter air is forced to rise, creating areas of low pressure. What happens whenever there is sunlight, heat in the sky, heat in the atmosphere, or sunlight is there? That sunlight forces the water molecules are when they are evaporating in the sky, thus the air is lighter. The moisture has gone up in the sky, and the air there is lighter. So that lighter area is termed as low pressure zone. That lighter area is termed as low pressure zone. What is low pressure zone? Whenever there is sunlight, sun in the sky, the vapors, the molecules which are present in the atmosphere, they evaporate. When the molecules evaporate, the area which is formed, where the molecules are not present, it's a lighter area, and there the low pressure zone is created because of the evaporation process. Then what happens? Heavier, colder air descends, creating areas of high pressure zone. On the next hand, all of you have understood the low pressure zone. I'm explaining again. Low pressure zone is the zone where the temperature rises, and because of that, the water molecules evaporate, and because of that evaporation, the space, the area is termed as low pressure zone. All of you have understood the low pressure zone. Moving to the higher pressure zone, wherever there are colder air, it descends. Colder air, whenever it's coming, and how colder air is formed? Because of the water molecules or the cold clouds which are having moisture. The clouds which are filled with moisture creates the high pressure zone. Have you seen the black clouds in the sky? Those clouds are basically the high pressure zones. The wind will always move from high pressure zone to the low pressure zone. The wind will always move from the high pressure zone to the low pressure zone. Low pressure zone will be formed where there is high temperature. Where there is high temperature, the low pressure zones are formed. And high pressure zones are formed where there is moisture in the atmosphere, where there is moisture in the clouds. Is that clear? Air pressure varies with height. We have talked about it. How air pressure varies with height? It is denser at the sea level. As the atmosphere becomes thinner, pressure decreases. Pressure decreases when the atmosphere is thin. And how it will become thin? And how it will become thin? Because of the evaporation. Because of the evaporation in the sky. Because of the temperature when it increases. Is that clear? Any question? Please ask me the question if you are not getting the concept. These are really very important things which you should know. I am repeating my words again. I have just told you people about the conditions for the rainfall. Conditions for the rainfall are always similar. Wherever the rainfall will occur, the conditions will remain the similar. What are the conditions of the rainfall? I am just repeating the condition of the rainfall again. Hot air rises up. Hot air rises up. When it reaches the atmosphere, it cools down. High pressure has moisture. Yes, the areas where there is moisture in the sky, that is high pressure. Okay, air cools. When it reaches the atmosphere, it cools. And saturation or dew point, there is saturation point and the dew or reaching the dew points when the water is going to the moisture is going to convert into water droplets. Water vapor will condense to liquid. The water vapor, when it's moving up in the sky, the temperature is decreasing and it's converting, it is condensing. You know condensation? When a gas turns into liquid, the process is known as condensation. Visible water droplets form. Rainfall occurs because the visible water droplets are there. They are unable to, the clouds are having such moisture there that it's very difficult for them to hold them. And then rainfall will occur. There is a need for having the low pressure zone and the high pressure zone. Whenever there is the high temperature, the low pressure zone will be created. And the areas where there is the moisture is there, those are known as high pressure zones. Okay, clouds are made up of beta water vapors. The clouds are made up of water vapors, and those are formed when the water vapors evaporate in the atmosphere and they condense when they reach there. Okay, we are going to talk about different types of rainfall, and these types are really very important and questions are coming in exam related to the rainfall. First type is the relief rainfall. You are Do not mix this relief with the relief features. The relief is basically here, relief rainfall is related to the height of the land. Relief rainfall is experienced by the high altitude areas only. Is it clear? Please do not mix up the relief rainfall with those of the relief feature. This relief rainfall means the rainfall which is experienced by the mountainous region. The rainfall which is coming, which is there in the mountainous region. Sunglasses coming. We are going to talk about the relief rainfall. It occurs when moist, unstable air moves up a mountain edge and it is chilled. You know that as we move up, when we move up in the high altitude or the height of the above the sea level, the temperature cools down, and because of that cooling of the temperature, the heavy condensation takes place and rainfall occurs. This is the best example of the relief we are talking about the air rises up. Can you see the mountainous region? Relief rainfall is only experienced by the mountainous region. Warm, moist air is forced to rise because hot air rises up. It is phenomena. Hot air rises up. It is the phenomena. And when it rises up, as it moves up, it cools down. It cools down, and because of the low temperature there, it cools down and air cools and condenses, forming clouds. Thus clouds are formed, and when these clouds hit the mountain, the rainfall occurs. This is the phenomena of the relief mountain. Relief mountain is relief rainfall is only experienced by the mountainous region. It is experienced in the northern and the northwestern mountains only, because there are mountains there. As the hot air rises up, it cools down. When it reaches the top, the condensation takes place. When those clouds hit the mountain, the rainfall is experienced. You can see that the rainfall, relief rainfall, is coming only on the one side of the mountain. The other side of the mountain is not experiencing that rainfall. The reason that the clouds hit this side of the mountain and they give the rainfall to this side only. The other side is the rain shadow area. The other side is the rain shadow area. What is the rain shadow area? Which the area of the mountain where one side is receiving the rainfall and the other side it's not receiving the rainfall. I am explaining again. As the hot air rises, hot air rises, warm air rises, moist air is forced to rise over high areas. When it moves up and reaches the top of the mountain, what happens? It cools down and the clouds are formed. The clouds, when they hit the mountain, rainfall is experienced on this side of the mountain only. The other side is the rain shadow area. The other side is the rain shadow area where no rainfall is experienced, because the clouds are there present only on this side of the mountain. It's very important to know, to understand, the relief rainfall is experienced by the mountainous region only. When hot air rises up, it cools down. When it reaches the top, clouds are formed, and when the clouds hit the mountain, they give rainfall on the one side of the mountain. The other side is the leeward side. This side which receives the rainfall is the windward side. The side which receives the rainfall is the windward side. The other side which is not receiving the rainfall is the leeward side, or the rain shadow area. Is it clear? The northern areas and the northwestern areas experiences the relief rainfall. Chitral and Gilgit are the rain shadow area, which they do not experience the relief rainfall, as they are on the other side of the mountain. Is it clear? I am moving forward. We are going to talk about the convectional current. The other type of rainfall is convectional current. Where it happens, it is experienced there where there are large bodies of water present. Wherever there are large bodies of water present, and in summer the temperature rises. The temperature rises, and because of that evaporation, due to high evaporation, clouds are formed and they give rainfall. Convectional currents are experienced by the regions where there are large bodies of water. We can say that convectional current is there where there is a high temperature and there are large bodies of water. The northern and the northwestern areas experience the convectional current. Let me tell you that why northern and the northwestern areas experiences the convectional current. It's important to know that we are having 5 rivers: Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi and Satluj there in the north. I'm talking about that northern part, not above that, and the western side where there are rivers. We can say northern and northwestern areas of Pakistan only experiences the convectional current. I know you are not getting it. I'll be explaining it to you again. But this picture is important when sun rays are falling there on the ground and there are large bodies of water. There are dams, there are lakes, there are rivers. When there is excessive evaporation due to high temperature, air evaporation takes place. When there is a line which the water vapors are crossing, they are cooling down and condensing and resulting in the rainfall, quick rainfall. Cumulonimbus clouds are formed, which gives rainfall with thunder and lightning. It is experienced by the northern and the northwestern areas only. Convectional current, convectional rainfall is experienced, is giving rainfall with strong winds accompanying the storms, may pick up dust with them. Is that clear? We are talking about only northern and the northwestern areas of Pakistan receive convectional rainfall from convectional current. Southern part of Pakistan is not receiving. The question might arise in your mind that why Pakistan is not, Karachi does not experience the convectional rainfall. This might be the question which will be asked by you. There is one concept which you should know, that Karachi, we are having the water body here, the Arabian Sea is there, but still we do not experience the convectional current because of the temperature inversion layer. Let me explain you what is temperature inversion layer. In normal conditions, the hot air rises up, but in Karachi, we are having one from land towards sea. The hot air is moving. The hot air is moving from land towards sea, and from sea towards land, cold air is coming. This forms the two airs which are moving in crisscross direction. They forms temperature inversion layer. At the coastal area in Karachi, temperature inversion layer is formed. This temperature inversion layer stops the process of evaporation. This temperature inversion layer stops the process of evaporation, thus not resulting in the convectional current. Any question related to convectional current? I am repeating my words. It says that All the mountainous region receives the relief rainfall. All mountainous region receives the relief rainfall. Convectional current is experienced by the northern and the northwestern areas. Northern and the northwestern areas of Pakistan receives the convectional currents. Okay, because there are water bodies present, because there is in summer the temperature rises, and when there is evaporation, a lot of water evaporates, and thus resulting in the formation of clouds, and then resulting in, I'm explaining again why Karachi. Have you understood convectional current? Convectional current is there because of the high temperature and water bodies are present. When temperature rises, evaporation takes place. The evaporated vapors, when they move up, they form clouds, and those clouds, when they are filled, laden with moisture, they result in the rainfall. That is a little different from the rest of the rainfall. But we are going to talk about that in Karachi, we are having Arabian Sea, a large body of water is present there. But why still Karachi is not having convectional current? The reason, Karachi is having temperature inversion layer. What is temperature inversion layer? From sea, cold breezes are coming, and from land, hot air is moving towards the sea. When both the air are coming towards each other, they form temperature inversion layer. This temperature inversion layer stops the process of evaporation. When the process of evaporation is not conducted, there are no clouds formed at the coastline. The clouds are formed deep inside the sea, in the middle of the sea, but not at the coastline. This is the reason we are not experiencing convectional rainfall. Coming to the third type of rainfall, that is Western Depression. Western Depression is the rainfall which is there. The clouds are formed at the Mediterranean Sea. Clouds are formed at the Mediterranean Sea, and Mediterranean Sea is present in the west of Pakistan. You know, we are having Balochistan, KPK in the west, and after that we are having Iran and Afghanistan, and then we are having Mediterranean Sea in the west. The clouds are formed at the Mediterranean Sea, or the cyclones which originate in the Mediterranean Sea, they travel across Afghanistan and Iran, and then coming to the western side of Pakistan. You can see this map, the western side, lighter blue shade. These areas receive the Western Depression. It is a type of rainfall which is experienced by the western side of Pakistan. Let me tell you again, it is winter precipitation. Means this rainfall occurs from December till March. When it occurs from December till March. Western Depression, the name tells us that the western side of Pakistan experiences this rainfall. It is the winter precipitation from December till March. It's important to know the time duration. It's important to know the origination. It occurs in light showers. It occurs in light showers. Is it clear? There is no heavy rainfall in winter. In winter we are having the rainfall is experienced in the light shower. It's important. The things which will be asked by the examiner, please note it down. Time duration of the rainfall, areas which receive this rainfall, and how it happens. These are the things which will be asked by the examiner. You know, December till March, Western Depression, the western side of Pakistan, this Chitral, Dir, Peshawar, Loralai, Quetta, Kharan, and this Makran coastal range, all these areas experience the Western Depression. Very rarely. It reaches till the Potwar Plateau, it reaches till Karachi as well. We can't say that it will stop here, but in some cases, in some years, it reaches till Potwar Plateau as well, and it is reaching till towards the further east. Is it clear? We are moving forward and we are going to talk about monsoon wind. The most important rainfall of Pakistan is the monsoon winds. Monsoon wind, there are more questions which are asked by the examiner from this rainfall because it is the most important. Monsoon winds are seasonal winds which blow during summer and winter. The summer winds are called southwest monsoon and the winter winds are called northeast winds monsoon. We are going to talk about the southwest monsoon because they are the most effective. Can you see these maps? The left map shows us the summer monsoon. The left map shows us the summer monsoon. The origin of the monsoon wind is the Bay of Bengal. Can you see Bay of Bengal? Bay of Bengal is the area, the sea with Bangladesh. The Sea of Bangladesh is known as Bay of Bengal. The winds are formed there at the Bay of Bengal. And they move, give rainfall to Bangladesh, then India, and then reaches the top of Pakistan. It's important to know the journey of the monsoon wind. The clouds or the winds originate at the Bay of Bengal. They give rainfall to Bangladesh. Danish, I have given you the time till 5. These are very important things. I know you people have commitments, you people are busy, but these things are really very important which you need to understand. Southwest monsoon or the summer monsoon, can you see? The summer monsoon, the winds are, the arrows are going from sea towards the land, moving from sea towards the land. Is it clear? So they are most effective. They are having more moisture. When the wind will move from sea, they will be having moisture because in the sea we are having moisture. And when they move towards the land, those are blessed with the rainfall. Those areas are experiencing the rainfall. Is it clear? We are talking about the journey of the monsoon. Monsoon, how monsoon winds move. They originate at the Bay of Bengal. They give rainfall, enter Bangladesh, and then give rainfall to India. And in the end, they enter the northeastern side of Pakistan, the upper Punjab. They enter the upper Punjab. Above the area with Lahore and near that, they enter Pakistan from that area. Pakistan receives the tail end of the monsoon winds. The whole moisture, the most of the rainfall has given the rainfall to India or to Bangladesh. When we receive the northeastern side of Pakistan in Lahore and going towards till Peshawar, giving rainfall to that area, then taking the southern turn, giving rainfall to the rest of the Punjab and ending in the Arabian Sea. Some of the time the winds are, you can see the arrow starting from Karachi. Can you see that arrow? This is the reason they are formed in the south. These winds are termed as southwest. They are formed in the south and they are moving towards the west. Can you see that? The winds are formed at the south. Arabian Sea is there in the south, or Bay of Bengal is there in the south, and they move towards the west. Pakistan is there in the west of those winds. This is the reason these winds are termed as southwest winds, and they are most effective. Summer monsoon, they are experienced in July till September, and they are in heavy showers. You have experienced monsoon very well. You have seen them this year as well. They were unpredictable as well. It's important to know that monsoon winds are unpredictable. They are in heavy showers. When I say heavy showers, means a lot of rainfall is experienced by a particular area. This is the reason farmers are not relying on the monsoon winds, because water wash away the soil, the softer parts, and that's not good for the crops. Farmers can rely on winter precipitation. Farmers can rely on western depression because it is in light showers, and crops required less amount of water at one time. Monsoons are unpredictable. Monsoon are in heavy shower. Their time duration is from July till September, and their direction and their journey is really very important. That they originate at the Bay of Bengal, giving rainfall to Bangladesh, then entering India and Pakistan from the northeastern side of Pakistan, that is the part of Lahore and above that. Pakistan receives the tail end of the monsoon. Southwest monsoon are the most effective. The other monsoon is winter monsoon, that is not very effective. You have seen the winds which are coming from land towards the sea. The other picture, the wind which is moving from land towards the sea, are they going to have moisture in them? No, they are not having, because they are originating at the land. The winds which are starting from the sea, they are having moisture in them. We are going to move forward. Monsoon receives tail end of, okay, we have done that. These are the regions, these are the areas which experience monsoon. Can you see the part? This is the part from where it enters, above normal, where it's written, the upper part of Pakistan. Can you see that? This is the region from where monsoon winds enter, then giving the rainfall to most of the areas of Punjab and Sindh, reaching till KPK. It's important that you should know the regions of Pakistan which receive the rainfall. It's really very important that you should know the regions. Although this is not the map of the particularly for monsoon, but these are the regions which are affected by the floods. The floods are formed because coming after the rainfall, because there is excessive water in the channels and the river overflows. These are the regions which receive the monsoon rainfall. It's important to know that these are the regions. Tropical cyclone. I'll be ending up here at the tropical cyclone. I'll be trying to have another class with you so that we can do the practice of the past papers. I can understand that you can't retain a large amount of material which is given to you. Okay, tropical cyclone. Tropical cyclone are the cyclone which is there experienced by the coastal region. People living at the coastal belt. Karachi is experiencing tropical cyclone because they originate in Arabian Sea. They originate in the Arabian Sea. How are the cyclone formed? Because of the high temperature. Because of the high temperature, the evaporation takes place in the middle of the sea. I'm talking about when I say convectional current is not experienced, that is at the coastline only. But in the middle of the sea, there is a temperature increases, and because of that, low pressure zone is formed. Low pressure center is formed. And because of the strong winds, the spiral arrangement is formed, and that results in tropical cyclone. But this is not the case near the coastline. It is not the case near the coastline. They are not formed near the island, but they can hit any area. These tropical cyclone can hit the coastline of Pakistan as well. Every year we are having this fear. Well, this cyclone is coming, this is coming, or this could be coming. Nilofer is hitting, can hit Pakistan, but they originate in the center of the sea. Can you see this? Because of high temperature, the low pressure zone is formed, and because of the strong winds, they are there, resulting in the tropical cyclone, and thus the destruction is done in the sea only, and they ends up in the sea. Very rarely they reach the coastal area. Very rarely they reach the coastline of Pakistan. Is it clear? These are the sources of rainfall. Highland zone. Lowlands, highland zone receives relief rainfall, monsoon rainfall, thunderstorms, and western depression. Lowland zone receives convectional. It's important to learn Western depression and monsoon, that which area receives which rainfall. It will be helpful in understanding in writing down the 6-mark question. It will be helpful when you are learning these things, so that you can attempt the questions properly. I think I shall end up here, because I can see that people are not going to retain, but I hope that all of you are going to copy down the slides from the PPT. I'll be uploading the PPT and I'll be uploading the recording, and in the next class we will be doing the practice of the past papers, and we will be completing the few topics which are left, so that we can start with the water resources in the on-site class. Any question? You have understood the topic, boys? Please reply. All beta. All of you have understood? Yes, all the slides to be done.